Come on in, pull up a chair and take a load off because today I'll be sharing a Kickstarter preview of Maeshowe in Orkney Saga from Dragon Dawn Productions. And we'll dig in, pun intended, right after this. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. As I mentioned in the open, I am going to be sharing a Kickstarter preview of Maeshowe, an Orkney Saga, in just a moment. But first, I do want to remind you, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already, and if you do subscribe, ding that bell, because it'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as this preview, it'll also inform you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Monday through Thursday nights right here on YouTube as I bring you the latest in tabletop gaming news. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. So today I am sharing a preview of Maeshowe, an Orkney Saga from Dragon Dawn Productions. It's designed by Lee Broderick with artwork provided by Matthias Catrain and Lars Munk. My apologies for no doubt mispronouncing somebody's name along the way there. This game is for 1 or 2 players, ages 12 and up. Plays in around 15 to 30 minutes. This project is well past its Kickstarter goal. You can reserve a copy of this card game for a $21 pledge through February 4th with an expected delivery this July. And I will talk a little bit about that as I wrap up the video. So let's swing on over to the other camera because I am going to show you how to play Maeshowe in Orkney Saga. So essentially, if you are not familiar with Maeshowe, it is a large multi-chamber burial cairn located in the Orkney area of England. And it was actually excavated during the Victorian age, around 1851, if I remember correctly. And prior to that, the Norse sagas indicate that there were 2 different jarls who ended up spending time within Maeshowe. The first was a jarl who was off to go on crusade and actually discovered the burial tomb and decided to rob it. And the other jarl actually found themselves with their men trapped in a terrible storm, and they actually took refuge in the cairn and became trapped inside. So essentially, that is what's going on in this game, is you are trying to escape the burial tomb. So we've got the rule book here, and the rules are very easy to follow. In fact, quite a bit of this is devoted to the actual history of the background for this game, because it is based in maybe not necessarily historical fact, because they are sagas that these stories originate from, but there were signs of runic graffiti within the tomb, so they know that someone was in there. Someone did rob the tomb, and they did actually leave graffiti. So we get basically the setup, talking about the card effects, because this is a card game. We do have some variants as well. I'll show you those cards in a second. Here's the background where it talks about what really happened, or what they think actually happened. So very, very nicely presented. Had absolutely no problems trying to figure out how to play the game. It is pretty much language independent, as you will see. So we do also have some variant cards that can be added into the mix. And yes, I just said it's basically language independent. Don't worry about that up top. It's not really doing anything differently. What you really have to focus on is the icons down below. And I will talk about that in a sec. I'll actually zoom in towards the end of the video to give you a better look. So we've got 3 separate little variants. If you are going to play a 2-player cooperative game, I would probably recommend that you include at least one of these variants into the gameplay just to mix things up a little bit. So those are the variants there. So we've got this little kind of like tracking sheet. And I will point out, all of this is prototype. None of this is actually the finished product, so keep that in mind. So here we actually have a health tracker. It's going to show our maximum health at the moment, which is 4. I also have a track for food. So we have 1 food at the moment. And as I mentioned, we're trapped inside this cairn. So we have these tokens here that are going to show the blocked passages that we need to excavate in order to escape. The basic game, the standard game is going to have 4 of these. If you want a little easier game, you can have 3. If you want a much more difficult game, you can have 5. It is possible for you to actually have more cave-in as well, so it's important to keep that in mind. So what you're going to do is you're going to actually have a hand of 5 cards. Each turn, you must play a card to the row, which will be up here, and you also must discard a card. So as I mentioned, we'll have cards that are going to show what is the effect, what happens when you play it to the row, and what happens when you discard a card. Not every card is going to have something for both. So we're going to take 5 cards, and we're going to lay these out. So we have 2 different runes. We have the blue rune, we have the red rune. If at any point in time your 5 cards all contain runes of only one type, then you go mad. And what happens there is you'll actually discard all the cards that you have, because this is considered to be your hand of cards. And you're automatically going to drop down your maximum health. So if I had gone mad once, and it is possible, it is completely possible to take your starting hand and have it all the one color rune. It's happened to me. And right away, you're dropping down your maximum health, and it'll remain that way for the rest of the game. So the main thing you're going to be keeping an eye on is what are the effects of playing these cards. So this is an excavation card, and the reason you'll be able to tell is we've got these little icons down here. If you have any problem trying to figure out what do these icons mean, right on the back of the rule book, it's going to show us what these symbols represent. So this is an excavation card. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get rid of the blockages effectively. And to do so, we have to place 4 excavation cards in a row. They don't have to necessarily be the just in a single row up here. We just have to have 4 continual excavation cards, and we may remove one of these tokens. If we luck out, we're able to put together 4 excavation cards that contain the same rune in a row, we actually get to remove 2. Of course, if we run out of health, it's game over, baby. We have expired before we were able to escape. According to the saga, the Jarl that actually went inside with their men to avoid the storm were actually trapped inside for 3 days, and they finally escaped, but not before, I believe it's a couple of the Jarl's men went mad. So, all right. So what we're looking at here is we've got an excavation card. We've got something that's going to add health, which we don't want to play that yet because we're already at maximum health. We have this card here, which is going to be a cave-in. We really don't want to have to play that to the row. This will allow us to get rid of one food and gain a health. And this is also a damn cave-in. What essentially will happen is you're going to find yourself in a position where it's kind of like having to choose the lesser of two evils for this game. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to play that to the first row. And once again, remember, I have to discard. I'm going to discard one of the cave-ins, place it up there, and that's going to cost us a health. So we're already down one health to start off with. So now we're going to draw 2 new cards. Aha! So we can add food if we play it to a row. We can add health if we play it to a row. But the problem is if we break the excavation cards up, we lose the opportunity to be able to clear the blockages. So what we need to do here is we're going to play that card there. So that is going to get us closer to being able to escape. And now we have to discard one of these cards. So we might as well discard another of the cave-in cards. It's going to cost us another health. Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, this game could end really quick, right? All right, so we're going to take 2 more cards, and we do not have an excavation card. So essentially, these 2 cards we've already played are not going to get us any place. So what I'm going to do here is I will play that card, which is going to allow me to add 1 health. And, well, I guess we might as well play that. Get rid of that. I know it was food, but I really don't want to lose much more health. All right, we're going to take 2 more cards. Look at that. There's more food. And there's an excavation card. So one thing also to point out is we can gain more food, but unless we have a card like this, which allows us to trade in food for health, it doesn't do anything for us. So we could be down to our last health point, and maybe we had 3 foods somehow. It isn't going to matter when we lose health again if we're just carrying around a bunch of food. All right, so let's put that back where we had it. So I'll play that up there. And we're going to discard another card. Ay, ay, ay. I guess we'll get rid of the food again. And we're going to draw 2 more cards. Well, at least we got an excavation card. And we got more food again. So I'm going to actually pull these down a little bit, because then I would play that. And you can make a row as long as you want. I just have this short with the 4 cards just to give you a kind of a closer look at the game itself. All righty, and then I guess we're going to play that, get rid of the food again. So we're going to draw 2 more cards. So that is a treasure card, which we already actually have a treasure card down here, which really isn't going to do anything for us. It's just basically wasting time in order to gain some treasure. But there isn't anything in the game where it's like, oh, well, I playing solitaire where I'm like, oh, I finished up with more treasure. All right, and then we got another card. Yay! We did receive an excavation card. So out of the cards we've got left, I think we're going to, everything's going to cost us health. So I might as well play the treasure. It's going to bring us down again. Ooh, not looking good, not looking good. Take 2 more cards. All right, there's an excavation card, and there is a cave-in card. Yikes. We're going to play that. So we got 3 in a row. We need 1 more to even get rid of one of the blockages. But we also do have to still play one of the cards. I guess we're going to play the cave-in. Going to lose another health. Let's flip this on over. All right, so we got another excavation card, and we get kind of like a good luck card, which allows us to get 2 more health. So we're going to play another excavation card right here that'll get rid of this. So we're 25% of the way out. But we still have to discard a card. We're down to our last health, so we can't possibly play a card that's going to cost us health. So unfortunately, I am going to have to play the card that would have given us more health for our food. But remember, I still have this card here. Now, all these cards are blue. So let's hope we don't get more blue cards. Okay, so we get a red. Well, there we go. That is the card that gives us the health for food. And then that gives us more food. All right, so we've got the 4 in a row. So we could start a new row with any of these cards because we've got this complete. Now, if I have 5 excavation cards in a row, that doesn't do anything for me. I have to have sets of 4 and be able to remove the blockage of the passages. And once again, these weren't all the same runes, so I was only able to remove the 1. So eventually what's going to happen is you're either going to escape or you are going to end up out of health, or you won't have a card to be able to play. So you don't have a card that you can play into a row. If that happens, the game has ended and you have not escaped. If you are able to remove all of these blockages, then you have successfully escaped Maeshowe, and you and your men have survived. All in all, this is a very interesting, quick playing game. I know it says 15 to 30 minutes. I have yet to see a game last a half hour. I have seen games last 10 minutes. The way things are going here, I highly doubt I'd be getting out of here alive. But that's the interesting aspect of the game. It's a constant kind of juggling act to play the card and also play a discard as well. We're going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to show off the cards so you can get a little better idea of what these look like. Get an idea of some of the artwork here. I like the artwork. I think the artwork is pretty dark. It's kind of grim, which is pretty much what you would be looking for. You would expect that, right? You're trapped inside this burial cairn. Now, one thing I will point out is all of the excavation cards all have the same artwork. Hopefully, we'll see a little bit of a change here as far as just a little bit of variety of artwork, because really all that matters are the symbols on the card. So as long as we see this and that, we know this is an excavation card. So I would like to see just a little variety in this artwork. And I would believe we might see that because these expansion cards all just have the same image, which is actually the artwork from the box cover. So I would think maybe we'll see some different artwork on these as well. All right. All in all, that is Maeshowe, an Orkney Saga from Dragon Dawn Productions. Let's swing on over to the other camera because I will share my final thoughts. As I always point out during the Kickstarter previews, this is not a review. I can't, in good faith, give this a review score because this isn't the finished product. This is not what is going to end up in the hands of consumers as far as I understand. That said, I can tell you what I think of the game, right? Just not going to give it a review score. As far as the solitaire experience, I think this is a lot of fun, and it's not an expensive game either. I do believe the final MSRP is probably going to be around $25. As I mentioned earlier on, I'm late to the party as far as this Kickstarter. This Kickstarter is ending in just a couple of days. So what you might want to do, if this looks interesting, then you might want to keep an eye open on maybe like a late pledge manager or pre-orders that might come out from Dragon Dawn Productions. Or, of course, visit thegaminggang.com regularly. And once this is going to be available, I will have a news piece about it. Because as I mentioned, this is way beyond its current funding goals. So this will see production from Dragon Dawn Productions. I guess I said production. A little too much. So I like the fact that on every turn, you've got decisions to make. And you're essentially choosing the lesser of two evils. Even just in the short gameplay that I just shared, you saw, oh, wow, hey, look, Jeff keeps getting these, get more food cards. Yeah, but that wasn't helping our case as far as getting out of the burial tomb. In fact, I got to be honest, as far as the times I have played this game, that was the most I have seen food coming out that early on. So I definitely do like the balancing act, kind of the juggling that you have to do within the game and, choose the lesser of two evils most of the time. I think the game is super, super easy to learn. Once again, as I did mention, it's completely language independent. All you're really looking at is what do these symbols represent on the cards. So I would also say, now this is a pretty small box. So this is a small footprint box, most definitely. But if we're ever outside of this pandemic ever again, fingers crossed, and you find yourself traveling by plane or maybe by, I would say Amtrak, a commuter rail, or I should say commuter rail, really, you don't have an opportunity to lay things out. We'll say if you're traveling by air, all you'd really need to do is bring the deck and just have a little piece of scratch paper, and you can easily be playing this on a flight, on the tray, right? So very, very portable as far as gameplay as well. As far as the cooperative mode, did play it once with two players. I may not have been playing it with the right person because they thought the game was fine. They did not enjoy it as much as I have. But then again, I have been playing it solitaire, and it zips along. It really does zip along. If you're playing solitaire, even if you've got quite a few rows of cards that you've been able to lay out, I mean, honestly, you're looking maybe 15, 20 minutes tops to finish a game. And then, as I mentioned, sometimes the end comes pretty quick. So all in all, if this sounds interesting to you, by all means, you only got a couple of days left to go check it out on Kickstarter, but be sure to visit Dragon Dawn Productions' website if you happen to see this video after the Kickstarter has ended. I'm sure there'll be more information how you can get on board. All right, that is it for this time out. Once again, do want to remind you, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. If you do, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as this Kickstarter preview, it'll also tell you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Monday through Thursday nights live right here on YouTube. So I bring you the latest in tabletop gaming news. So thank you for joining me once again. And as I've been wrapping up all of my videos during this never-ending pandemic, I certainly do hope all of you out there are being smart and staying safe. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, if you'd like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel, by all means, click right here. And if you'd like to check out one of our recent live streams, click right up top. And if you want to roll the dice and see what the algorithm for YouTube recommends, click right here. And of course, thank you once again for watching. And gang, please stay safe and wear a mask.